booties for black girl nerds.
Hi, Celine. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. I am so obsessed with this movie, so it's so great to talk to you.
So happy to talk to you.
For sure. So I want to start about talking about the non-negotiables because that was a big theme here, and we all have them. Mine is guy has to be funny. So for you as a director, when you're like casting or when you're looking for people to work on the film, what is like non-negotiables for that aspect? And then also like, what did you want to separate this film for the rest of like other rom-coms?
Well, I feel like my non-negotiable is that you care. You know, I think that's true about everybody in my life. I feel like I want you to give a shit.
Right.
You know, I think that to me is something that I'm looking for in every single person that I work with or every single person that I'm close to, more than anything. And it comes to, what was the second question?
Well, just like for like non-negotiables as far as like what you wanted to make sure this movie separated from other rom-coms.
Well, I think that to me it's like the non-negotiable for this movie is that like I never wanted to say something that I don't believe in. I think that was a non-negotiable. So it was very much that like it's like if I ever felt like I am making something up or not saying the thing that I actually want to say, then I think that had to leave the film. So I think the non-negotiable is that it's every single thing has to be something that I actually believe in my heart. Yeah.
And what I believe in is everyone knows that I am a huge Chris Evans fan of his work. Like, I love his work. So I can confidently say this, and I want to say this to you.
Yeah.
This is his career best performance.
Yeah.
I really think so, and I wanted to make sure that was said because I'm a big fan of his projects.
Yeah.
This is unlike anything I've seen him do.
Oh, yeah.
So for you, when it came to casting, how did you land on Dakota, Pedro, and Chris?
Well, I think that, it's very much like in some kind of a matchmaking or something. It's like it has to feel like you're falling in love. I wish that it was something that I could like game or use math for it. But the truth is that I met each of these actors and then each time, at some point in my conversation with them, I realized that it's like they are that character. I was usually meeting them just as like people, as like actors I wanted to get to know because again, like I'm just like a fan of their work. And then somewhere in the conversation with them, I would just always run into this moment where I'm like, oh, that's Lucy. Oh, that's John. And I think that's why I cast them.
No, they were fantastic. I love every
Amazing.
aspect of it. I mean, I can't picture anyone else being in these roles. They worked so well together. And there's a scene in there particular where it's like bringing a boyfriend to see an ex. Like, I love that. So like, I love that you wrote that in there because that's real because I cannot see. I was just like, oh my gosh, she really threw this in there. But that's mature. It's really mature. Of
course.
How did you write that into the script? Like, what made you want to put that in there?
Well, I feel like it's like, I think about the way that like love and relationships kind of work through, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, that's my favorite water.
It is your favorite water. Okay, I'm gonna do a better job in saying that. Okay, I was like, disappearing. But I was gonna say, okay. I love I want to talk about Chris too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So specifically, just because you love Chris. You know? But yeah, I feel like I think to me it's really more about like how like modern dating situations and modern life actually works for adults, right? Because I feel like you're just getting to watch three people be adults in that situation, which I'm always so interested in depicting. Because that's so, in a way, to me, more dramatic than people being really weird and awkward and not knowing what to do about it, you know?
Yeah, like having to tell someone, hey, you're broke and I can't be with you. Yeah. Like there's so many relatable parts of this film that's why I love it so much. So I want to ask about the aspect of the quotes. There's so many quotes we're going to pull from it. I know we were quoting Drake a lot in the captions, but now we're going to be quoting Materialists. We're going to be quoting Materialists in the captions. For sure.
Perfect.
So like the people around you that have seen the film, what have they told you like, hey, I love this because it resonated with me? Because they're going to be real. They're your friends, they're your family. What if they said, hey, this was great because this really resonated with me and what I've been through?
Well, I think that it's the whole thing. It's the experience of actually feeling love or like being in love and then also being heartbroken, right? And then also being heartbroken because of the way that you see yourself. I think the thing that is so true about everyone is that because we live in a world where every single thing is evaluated and we're turned into commodities and objects in the world, in the modern world, that I think that we all understand what it feels like to feel like we're not enough, right? Or that we're not perfect and that we could be improved or something like that. And I think that in that way, that conversation is something that I think is completely universal. Even if you're not sure about love, even if you're cynical, I think that that is something that is just undeniably a part of the human experience. This feeling that we're not perfect. We're not as perfect as we are.
This movie was absolutely fantastic. Thank
so
you so
much.
much for your time. I'm actually hosting a screening in Houston for it.
You
and
are?
I'm taking.
I'm so happy.
I'm taking so many of my friends. I'm so excited for it, and I'm just thank you so much. I'm
Thank
so
you
grateful that
so
we got
much.
rom-coms back right
Well,
now.
of course, I'm so
Thank
happy.
you.
Ask me if anything, if you haven't gotten to ask me.
No,
I
it's-
coughed and I didn't really like. Give me one more question.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for when it comes to like awards, right? Like,
Oh.
is there for sure? Because this movie is definitely it's gonna be a contender. So, is there anything that you like? Hey, I when I watched the film, I was like, this is an award-winning performance. And since we're talking about Chris, because this was, I mean, I love Dakota. She gave a great performance, but Chris just really stood out because of the vulnerability, vulnerability and the realistic of. Hey, there's people that are in a situation that are not rich and they are in love with someone, they want them, but they can't make their financial situation just increase overnight. So like award-wise, his performance is worthy of that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that I think I'm obsessed with all three of them. You know, I think a part of what's amazing about you know, working with such committed, brilliant actors who are like obsessed with their work and obsessed with what they get to do, because that's what it was. You know how in the beginning you asked me what's on my non-negotiable list? It's that they care.
Right.
They care so deeply. And I think it's because in my film there's a line where a character goes, well, I'm not merchandise, I'm a person.
Right.
And the truth is, what actor doesn't understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And who of like my three actors wouldn't understand that?
Right.
So I think that to me, it's like they brought so much of themselves into it, and they really walked into those characters just fully in love with those characters. So I think that I'm just obsessed with them and their performance in it, and they work so hard, you know.
Yeah.
Something that I wanted to tell you is like, Chris, you know, whenever I give him a note on set, he'll say this thing in this way that's so charming. He'll say, watch this. I'll give him a note and he'll be like, watch this. And then he'll do it, and he will. He will do it, you know. And the other thing he says, sometimes he goes, oh, crap. He says something great where he goes, oh, let's fucking act. Sometimes he comes and says, we're about to roll, and he says, all right, let's fucking act.
I love that.
I love that, you know. It just speaks to like just how passionate he is about his work, you know. I love working with the three of them so much.
Well, I hope to see you do more work with him in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you
time.
so
I really
much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.